Since he's already in the chat, should we mention and thank Mad for that nice opening?
No, never thank him for anything.
You're so hateful, so spiteful. No, I don't get it. Why do you hate so much?
I mean, I'm a creepypasta folklorish cryptid who, may or may not be an object of fear and terror for many people who ever, followed the history or played the video games.
Well, here's our special guest joining us. What's up,
Oh,
Matt?
wow. What's Gucci, my ninjas?
I was just trying to do a nice shout out and be thankful for all that hard work you did for us, and Slender was being hateful like he usually is. So I apologize for that.
It's kind of my shtick.
I didn't
He
get to
gets
see
it.
I didn't get to see anything.
Oh,
I was
okay.
turning stuff on. Anyway, I saw Dungeons and Dragons, The Thief's Heart. I forgot what the
Honor Among Thieves.
Honor Among
Yeah.
Thieves.
way better than what it deserved to be.
It was good, wasn't it?
Right?
That was prior to yesterday when I dragged Slender to see Guardians of the Galaxy 3 for our show. That was the last movie I think I had dragged him to see.
It was way better than it should have been.
I think half of it though was Chris Pine's charisma is so
Yeah.
high. He is genuinely a bard with all his stats and charisma.
Dude, that scene where the illusion started to fail because the sorcerer's foot got stuck made me laugh out loud in the theater.
Yeah, it was good, man. It felt it felt like they borrowed a lot from the Guardians.
Yeah, like the first Guardians when it was fun.
Yeah, I haven't seen the new one yet, but I hear it has a happy ending.
Sorta.
That's an interesting way of saying it. It's super upbeat if you're depressed, I suppose.
It's got an ending, and it's not a bad ending. But honestly, I'll try to avoid spoilers until we get into spoiler territory. But my overall take on Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was that it was a really good movie with really bad pacing that did not stick the landing.
Well, sign me up.
My main problem is it's tonally so not good compared to like the earlier movies in the franchise were fun and kind of wacky good. This one is just like depressing wacky. It's just even like the banter, it almost seems hateful and spiteful, where they're tearing people down instead of just having funny good times.
Right? Yeah.
And I don't know. I was talking before we started the show with Slender about how I remember when I saw the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, how I was like, man, that was a really awesome movie. It felt kind of upbeat and just fun, wacky. It was so different than what Marvel was doing at the time. So it was a nice change of pace. And this one just seems like it's a medium movie. Like I would say probably 6, 7 out of 10. Where it's not bad, but it's not good, and it just doesn't resonate.
I know most people, they're like, yeah, okay, Marvel has been complete shit, but everybody had hope for this one because of James Gunn.
I didn't really care about the James Gunn element.
I think he's a one-trick pony. Let me ask you: was there anything that took over anybody's minds?
Yeah.
In this one,
there was.
Is there really in a James Gunn movie? There's something that takes over people's minds, like the Body Snatchers or whatever.
I mean, there might be a character that can just put her hand on you and make you think whatever she wants.
No, I mean like Slither, but in space. Because everything he makes boils down to either a giant space squid takes over people, or it's in the Peacemaker, it's little fairies that take over people. I mean, it seems as though it's the one story he has to tell, It's kind of like Neil Breen.
I mean, I suppose you
sense.
could kind of get into that with the main villain, who essentially was controlling entire societies.
Oh,
and
really?
just by, like, he couldn't control their minds, but he could definitely
no,
control their bodies.
No, he did. Remember, that was one of the things he programmed them.
Yeah, well, that's
Really?
true, yeah.
So we got another guest. Got Brahma in here. What's up, Brahma?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good. I think you had a more positive opinion of the movie, I think, than we maybe did.
I enjoyed it. I gave it like a 7.5, 7, somewhere in there.
Oh, he matched up with me.
Oh yeah, so then I was like 6.5 when we walked right out of the theater. I was like, this, it just feels average.
I could be talked into an 8.5, but my initial rating was 7.5.
Like I said, I think the poor pacing hurts it. There are times when, you know, the action is moving right along in a nice, efficient kind of way. There are other times when it really feels like they're trying to drag something out. So poor pacing, they didn't stick the landing, and like the highs, they were there and they were good and they were high. The lows, they really wanted them not to be lows, but they just didn't land. Like old boy who was the son of the Ravager, who was trying to control like the whistle dart, and the
Sean Gunn.
Yeah, and the Soviet dog, pointless. Did not need to be in this movie.
Yeah, but that was the best running bit through the movie.
Yeah, but they didn't. They in no way served the progression of the story. None whatsoever.
I'm looking up right now and I see like the very first Guardians movie had a runtime of basically 2 hours and 2 minutes.
Yep.
The next movie up is 2 hours and 17 minutes, and this one is 2.5 hours.
Ooh,
Yeah.
boy, that's long, man.
Yeah, it
And
is.
I think Slender's right. I could probably think that I think it's really easy to find probably 25 to even 35 minutes that could be cut out of this movie and streamlined.
Gamora could have been cut out of
Easily.
this movie. She was
Gamora,
pointless
Adam
too.
Warlock, both of them could have been cut completely.
And that's one of the first Guardians movie was so well paced. Like if you go back, you're always getting beats.
Adam
like,
Warlock is a little trickier because he is essentially the inciting incident that kicks it all off.
Yeah, but they
But-
could have done anything to do that.
Yeah, I mean, they could have easily sent, the pig monster if they really wanted to.
Yeah.
That's true.
They were told you teased it in the second one. He has to be in it, even though his role is no longer required in the MCU.
Yeah.
I mean, this sounds a lot like that bit I've been working on about how back in the day the movies had to earn their runtime because of how uncomfortable the seats were. There were no assigned seating. Everyone fought like it's Mad Max to get into the good seats.
Yeah.
You
You know what I
even
mean? I mean, you had to earn a 90-minute fucking runtime.
Let me tell you, man, like having worked at an AMC for almost a decade and being a manager and back in the long ago times of just regular theater seating, we would sell out theaters. Like whatever our capacity was officially with seat count, you'd always stop at 80%. Because somehow magically, if it was a sellout, even though you stopped at 80% capacity, there would be standing room only and all the seats would be taken. Because you also had to account for the people sneaking in.
Right.
Yeah.
And, doing all that. So you're right. Like, if you were committing to going for like 2.5, 3 hours, I remember Titanic
You better earn it.
Titanic was like, when that came out, we were all like, this is 3 hours long. People aren't just not going to tolerate it. And
I
And
think the place I
that's
saw it at still had an intermission when Titanic was out.
oh really? I mean, and by the way, in Titanic, those subpar boobs were the only thing that dragged that time along. You know, if it wasn't
Well,
for those,
that
people-
and the scene where the guy bounces off of the
yeah,
prop.
yeah,
That was
those
fantastic.
are the highlights of Titanic.
it was only one boob because it was PG-13. You only saw one, and then you saw
Did
the
you?
drawing. It was only one hanging out
Oh.
there.
Oh, well.
There was some
Oh.
specific weird rules about
Dude, that had to pay her double if she showed him both.
Right. This also suffered a little bit from the Return of the King syndrome at the
too
end.
many endings. Giving
Yeah, it could have
everybody their
ended
resolution.
about 3 different times, and they just kept going into another song and another scene.
Yeah, I don't
And I
give
get
a
that they're
shit
trying to
about
wrap
the
it up.
new. I don't give a shit about the new Guardians. Like, I just don't fucking care. Why'd you even show me that? It didn't matter.
Yeah, I didn't even see that part. I've watched it twice, but neither of them was at a theater, so I got
Yeah,
no
like when-
stingers.
Oh well, in the end, they
don't you're riding the high seas. Good for you, bro.
I'm
Damn straight.
too.
I had to watch it before the show last night. I can't do that when I work.
It's a bit of a spoiler, but in the end, they show like a small scene. I think it's the mid-credit scene because they do mid-credit and post-credit now, and the mid-credit scene has Rocket with all the new Guardians of the Galaxy getting ready to fight some problem, and it's like, don't know, don't
Wait.
care, don't know, don't care.
Oh, I thought Rocket was the one that got ich in the movie.
Nobody got you.
Are we doing spoilers or what's you guys' call on that?
Well,
Since there's
I'm not
We've
gonna
got
do
the
it.
spoiler alert up at the bottom. So
Well, that's
I'm
because
not
you
doing any
started. You
spoilers.
started just announcing an after-credit spoiler, so I figured I better put
it's
it up.
not
as
even a
courtesy.
spoiler, man.
Well,
I
man,
didn't say Rocket was in charge.
Matt, you don't give a shit though, right?
No, what? I wouldn't be here.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so
But I'm not gonna give any spoilers because I'm not that guy.
So none of them.
Plus, I
die.
haven't seen
because
it.
plus you
Nothing
haven't seen it.
dies.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of things that die, but none
Well,
of
yeah,
the
there's
people
actually
we-
more killing in this than any other Marvel movie
We wiped
outside
out
of
an
like the
entire-
mass killings, like the blip. But
we get to witness an entire planet just being raised, like with and a population we had met with kids just being eliminated, gone.
yeah, and they actually show some of it, so it's a little bit more forceful than just Thanos snaps his fingers and half the population of the galaxy died. This one they actually show a planet level destruction.
Which I'm actually, I mean,
I gotta tip my hat for that, though. I'm glad they had the balls to do it.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I don't mind a villain being a villain, and I actually thought the high evolutionary in this one wasn't a bad villain for, especially by MCU standards. The MCU always has weak villains. I always appreciate when our villain isn't just a different version of the hero, which is what the MCU usually does. Oh, what are you fighting in Iron Man? Oh, a really big bad Iron Man.
What are you
in-
fighting as Daredevil? Oh, a guy that can see.
Yeah. Oh, Bullseye. He's a guy who can hit things because he's got such good eyesight.
Right. Oh, who's he fighting? Non-bullseye who
Bullseye
can't
or
hit
whatever his name
anything.
is.
It reminds me of the American Dad episode where it was the Antichrist.
Yeah. Oh, I love those episodes.
He's like, Jesus was a carpenter, so I build things poorly.
Yeah. And I talk like this.
And the high evolutionary, I guess he was okay. To me, he felt like a street level character that just had a whole bunch of tools at his disposal. There was nothing threatening in and of himself. He just has the technology to be threatening.
Yeah, which is
but-
fine. I think if this had been paced better, he would have come off better. The pace, and then when we get to the final act, where there's a lot of choices that don't seem to make sense by the villain. I get that he was supposed to be obsessed, but
All right, look, I know I'm getting us off the rails here, but I started picturing the opposite of the Hulk that the Hulk would fight. It would be a dude that's a giant Hulk. He's like, oh, don't get mad. Oh, don't, because he'll lose his power if he gets mad. So he has to try to stay calm. But for the opposite reason, so he can stay.
He fights a hippie that's just blowing pot smoke in his face. Like, you need to chill, man. Just calm down.
So you're saying the opposite of the Hulk would basically be Cheech from Cheech and Chong?
Yes.
He's saying the opposite of the Hulk would be somebody who's always the Hulk unless they get
Yes.
mad, and then they turn back.
And then he turns into some
the puny
dorky
human.
scientist, right? So he
Yeah.
has to constantly not get upset by anything. But he always bumps his head, he stubs his toe, and he's like, oh, my toe, now I'm just a scientist.
He stubs his toe and he's like, all right, I guess I should do my taxes.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So the ultimate enemy of the Hulk would be Stuart Smalley from the Daily Affirmation.
I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me.
Oh, that was back when Saturday Night Live had the balls to make fun of things.
And
That was back when
he was a
Saturday Night Live
senator.
was funny.
Yeah. Well, that was when Pat was an actual joke character instead of a cast member.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like have we gotten to the part where the SNL repeats on Peacock have memory hold the Pat sketches because they're offensive to trans people?
I'm sure they have.
Probably. I haven't seen one in years, even on clips on YouTube and stuff.
I remember, was it the girlfriend boyfriend character was Dana Carvey, and they're like, "What's his name? What's that person's name?" Chris. Because everyone was just trying to figure out what Pat was.
Yeah, and then that
Androgynous.
stopped being a sketch and started being a documentary.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's life now.
Yeah, and that's where. So back to Guardians of the Galaxy, man. I think if it had been paced, if they did, and this is where James Gunn, I think, is getting too big for his britches.
I've been thinking this.
It worries me because he did the same. Like if you watched Suicide Squad, his version, it had a lot of self-indulgence as a filmmaker. And I think that now that he's going to be writing and directing Superman and he's high on his own farts, he's going to be doing self-indulgence in that too.
Well, and I think part of it was like they're trying to make these characters and the story and everything. This Guardians of the Galaxy 3, so that it's got to be bigger and better. But the problem is the characters have become so exaggerated now that they are literally caricatures of the characters from Guardians 1. Like Drax is even more ridiculously dumb than he was in the first one. Like every character is just dialed up to 11, and the problem with that is it makes him a little less believable, I guess.
They were all screaming at each other all movie long.
Yeah.
Every argument
Nebula
was
like
straight to
angrier
10.
than ever. Like,
I
she didn't seem
hate
angry
that.
before.
Every
hate
argument was Yeti level argument. Like it goes straight to yelling.
Yeah, and I can only tolerate Yeti for like 5 minutes.
I hate that because that should have all been done by the first movie. Even the second movie, they kind of reduced Rocket back to who he was in the first, right? He was still trying to sabotage the team, even though he had already learned the lesson of this is your family, don't sabotage your family. But we're back to the second movie, and he's doing it again because James Gunn only has so many tricks in his bag. And by the third movie, man, they should be a family. They should be working. You know what I mean?
You hit on a very good point about this movie, and one of the things that I hated about this movie, there is not enough Rocket. It's all about Rocket, honesty, but there's not enough Rocket, and Rocket is what actually, in the other movies,
well, this story
yes,
is
he's
about
a little
Rocket.
prick, but he does bring everybody together.
Yeah,
he's the one always telling them, "Shut up, you idiots," and calling them names and stuff, and everybody calms down.
This particular movie is actually less about Star-Lord and more about Rocket, and to kind of, I mean, almost flip what you said, Mad, because you haven't seen it yet. Rocket is the one character that they didn't dial up to 11. He is completely out of character for the vast majority of this movie. Like he's almost
on
not
a
Rocket.
Table dead for half the movie.
Yeah, that's true too.
You get baby Rocket. That's all you get. You don't get any of his attitude because he's a non-character for 90% of the movie.
Yeah. And then once he comes out of that, he's basically I found Jesus Rocket. Like he's not doing funny shit anymore. He's depressing as fuck.
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah,
cool.
And I also the Gamora Star-Lord story and where they went with it bothered me so much. I also felt like it doesn't make sense. Like Gamora, if we watch Endgame, is supposed to have been pulled at a moment in time that was a few months before the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. And at that time, Gamora was already plotting to keep Thanos from succeeding in his task to try to help people and do all that. And all of a sudden, this version of Gamora in Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is like willing to just shoot innocent people and, win by any means necessary. And because she's like, I'm a daughter of Thanos, or, you weren't ever like that. That was the whole point.
Well, she was in jail at the beginning of the first movie.
Did they play Awesome Mix 1 for her? Because that really brought the other one around.
They played all 90s music.
The soundtrack this time sucked.
Really?
I like the songs, but I don't think it
worked
fit
in the movie.
He went completely grunge. It was like Space Hog in the meantime. Faith No More, We Care a Lot, stuff like that. It was out of the time period that he's
Didn't
pulled
they
all
play
the
a
other
Beastie
music
Boys
from.
song at one
Yeah,
point?
Sabotage.
Was it Sabotage?
And how do you not play Intergalactic if you're gonna go with a Beastie Boys song?
Because the
Yeah,
Marvels,
no shit, right?
The Marvels trailer people had already claimed Intergalactic. I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah,
Because it says "Smile for Me" or some dumb shit.
I'm pretty sure they just sold, or Beastie Boys just sold their whole catalog to Disney because it's in everything now.
Well, it's not just Disney. Beastie Boys sold out. Like it was in that.
They had
multiple Star Trek movies.
Yeah,
Beastie
the
Boys never
Star Trek
made any
09.
bones about it. Okay, they were in it for the money. That's what they were in it for, and we all
Yeah.
knew it, and that's why we loved them.
I'm looking at the soundtrack now, and it's Radiohead "Creep," but the
Yeah, it
acoustic
opens with
version,
that. Yep.
and then "Crazy on You" by Heart. I don't know that one.
It's
"Since You've Been Gone" by
late
Rainbow.
70s, early 80s.
And then you got Space Hog "In the Meantime," which was in every 90s movie.
Yep.
Oh, do they have that flagpole song? You know, the one that they always play?
Flagpole Sitta.
Harvey
by
Danger?
Harvey Danger.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
No,
me and
I
Brahma
don't.
definitely in the same age group right there.
Yeah.
It's like, I heard that song so many times. I
Way
remember
too
when
many.
it was
That
in
and Closing
it was,
Time,
It was in
Semi-Sonic.
Disturbing Behavior. Do you remember that?
The
movie?
Flaming Lips.
Yeah. Didn't Disturbing Behavior have Got You Where I Want You by the Flies
Yeah, by
in it
Flies. Yeah, that was the actual like tie-in song that they made the music video for.
too? Yeah, I like that song.
Yeah. I mean, the soundtrack
They had
was depressing.
No Sleep Till Brooklyn in it?
That was the Beastie Boys song that they played.
Oh, was it that instead of Sabotage?
Yeah,
Okay.
it wasn't Sabotage. I think it was the.
Or did
was
they
it
have both?
when they were infiltrating the bio lab?
Yeah.
I think they played. No
Which,
Sleep.
by the way, the CG in that part was absolutely fucking awful. Like, I hated it.
I don't know. I thought everything looked a step up from what we've been getting.
Yeah,
A
but
lot of
that's
it
not-
looked better, but like when they're cutting into this, genetically grown facility, I guess, this bio facility, like they've got those yellow blobs of goo floating in the air, and I'm like, really?
Right.
Those look absolutely awful. I've seen better special effects in video games. And if you're gonna do that, they're cutting into basically a wall of flesh. Nut up and make it blood. Just do it.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they were going kind of stylized. Oh,
Oh, it was very stylized.
Well, that was all
Tina.
supposed to be Jack Kirby stuff.
we got Tina join watching it. I'm sure
Hey,
she
Tina.
has. She would probably have a very positive take on the Guardians movie. Is because what's her nickname again, Slender?
Bad take, Bojan.
I don't know,
Let's
man.
see.
I'm glad that
Which is why she said.
Oh, I bet she liked it. I mean, I liked it too.
She said
here's
she
the thing.
hated it.
I liked it. Oh,
Yeah,
did
we-
she hate it?
I mean, yeah, we're ragging on it a little bit right now, but overall, I liked the movie.
Oh, good.
The
There
bad
we
takes
go.
just keep coming.
I mean, it wasn't a great movie.
I'll be honest. I'm glad that we stayed home and watched Dungeons and Dragons: Prince of
I think
Thieves.
I think it's also an expectation.
Not Prince of
games.
Thieves, man. It's Honor
Whatever.
Among
Honor Among
Thieves.
Whatever.
Prince of
my
Thieves is Robin Hood.
you do anything for love, man. Let's see. What'd she say? It was worse than Doctor
What?
Strange and Quantum Mania. All right, I am probably the one who's most down about the movie. I was even scoring it lower than Slender, but I'm gonna probably say that Quantum Mania was worse.
Here's
Yeah,
the thing. Like, you're not going to convince me otherwise, but like the best marks I can give it are that it's so far the best thing to come out of Phase 5.
Best thing to come out since Endgame.
Yeah,
And I'm not counting
Uh,
Spider-Man because
Okay,
that's Sony.
Sony. All right.
Yeah.
I'll allow that.
Okay.
Yeah, if you don't
I'll
count,
allow you to allow that.
if you don't count No Way Home, it's definitely the best since Endgame. But let's look. All right, so what have they put out since Endgame? They did
The Marvels,
Black Widow- they
Shang-Chi, Black Widow,
Black Widow, which was ass.
Quantumania.
Shang-Chi, Quantumania.
Multiverse of Madness.
Eternals,
Love and Thunder.
Oh, Love and Thunder was terrible.
Yeah.
You know, that's another thing. The Guardians were featured in Love and Thunder. And if
The
you think,
Waititi version of them.
which does, that's why I don't like it, because you're getting so many varied, like, if this is what the Guardians are like, where Peter Quill has been basically in a drunken stupor, non-functional, since Gamora came back and kind of threw him away.
How did he? Yeah, he
How
seemed
is
very
he
functionable.
Why is he like such a capable and good leader in the Waititi, version of the Guardians, which is happening at the same time? Yeah,
Meanwhile,
we did go.
Thor is not capable of doing anything in the Thor movies.
Tina, this is something that was brought up about
Yeah.
how they're just screaming at each other.
Especially Nebula, who is
And I-
just. And it's so, what I didn't like is I thought the insults were more hurtful. Like, it wasn't a playful, like when the first movie, Drax was supposed to be someone who didn't understand metaphor, and that's where the jokes were coming in. But
Right.
it wasn't because he was retarded.
Now they flat out call him stupid like 4 times through the movie. There's
And
a
then-
whole like 3-minute
All
argument
right, so Matt,
about him
like,
being stupid.
Mantis,
Yeah, and they're not arguing about how he's stupid. They both agree he's
That's-
stupid.
Right.
And Mantis is one of the ones Mantis and Nebula are doing this argument.
What?
When Mantis calls him stupid and not capable, Drax actually was like, "This is hurtful. I don't know if I like this." And she goes over and she mind wipes him. She's like, "Forget." And then he doesn't remember that she said it.
Oh,
Yeah.
but wait, is this can't be better though than the Christmas special? Because the Christmas special for the Guardians of the Galaxy was awesome.
It was
so good.
Are you
And he
just-
wasn't all depressed in
No, it's supposed to happen like right after that. That's the other thing. Like, he's now found out that he knows Mantis is his sister, which was from this Christmas special.
yeah.
It's just like the Star-Lord character seems so out of whack with every other version of him. That's why I made the thumbnail that I
Put
did.
him in a certain position so that they could have the hero's journey. Like, well, we have to make him depressed so that he needs something to snap him out of it. So that, like, it's contrived. It's extremely contrived. Like, this adventure could have started without him being at the end of his rope, at
And
rock bottom, etc.
It's a waste of Chris Pratt's talent too, because like Mad was talking about watching Dungeons and Dragons, and how he was pleasantly surprised, and a lot of that is Chris Pine's charisma carrying the movie. Chris Pratt has that kind of charisma, and if you make him a depressing alcoholic, person, you're wasting what his best version is. He should be like an Indiana Jones type, where or a Han Solo, like where if he's got like any kind of darkness, you still need to make him pleasant and happy and upbeat. And I don't know.
To be fair, that was only like the first 8 to 10 minutes of the movie.
Okay, I will agree with what Tina said there about how the plot is a bunch of disjointed scenes where most jokes failed. The scenes are very disjointed, and I would say only about half the jokes landed. But the ones that did were hilarious. Like when
right,
Nebula is trying to open the car door, and she's like, "Okay, I push the button. What now?" And he's like, "Open the fucking door."
See, and I thought the unnecessary F-bomb was just like, why? I mean,
I actually liked it for some, like the way he delivered it was perfect.
This is
yeah,
something
but
I
that
think is
automatically marks out like my, an 8 to 12-year-old range. I mean, if
exactly.
you don't
That's
do
true.
that around them, then what was the point of throwing that? And this movie is dark anyway. It's not
you
for
should
kids
not
at
be
all.
showing like I would say probably
12 to 14 is the youngest for this.
And bear in mind that if you've got like even a 12-year-old who's kind of sensitive, there is some like nightmare fuel animal in this thing, like that rabbit, that
I still think the rabbit was cute.
the spider rabbit.
Yeah, like
was-
the toys in the bad kids room in Toy Story.
Like Sid.
Ooh,
It's
yeah.
got some Sid
That kind
things
of
going
stuff.
on. And they might be nice and sweet, but they're gonna mess with a kid's head. And I think Tina really nailed it. I think universally across the board, what everyone can probably agree on is that the Adam Warlock character was useless and
Yes.
didn't bring anything to the table. Like, you want to talk about cutting out, when I said that the movie could easily lose a half hour and still be really well done, basically everything Adam Warlock should go away.
Correct.
He was, and I get that.
will give the Friday Night Tight guys credits because I didn't think of this until they mentioned it earlier tonight. But like, what happened to Star-Lord's mask?
That's because we mentioned it last night on Thursday Night Throwdown.
Oh,
Wow.
well, then
Yeah,
there you
And
go.
that's because I mentioned it Wednesday night.
Yeah, I mean,
And that's
Star-Lord
because I
has-
mentioned it Tuesday before I even saw the movie.
well, I can only say that because comics is on the Friday Night Tights panel. But yeah, I mean, we said that. Why the hell would he need help in space? He has a mask and he has jet boots.
In
That's
the
his
first
whole
movie,
character.
remember in the first movie, he actually the reason he was having trouble in space is because he took the mask off and
To give it
gave
to-
Gamora.
Yeah,
Right,
to
so that
Gamora,
she
yeah.
would, yeah. It's so,
But there's
like,
nothing about this that says that he didn't have his stuff with him.
Let's see, Tina. The 10-year-old next to me, the 10-year-old girl next to my husband was crying because of the gore and animal cruelty. I kept teasing him to leave her alone and stop scaring her. Yeah, there is like explicit animal cruelty, and like I agree with Brahma. Like I have an 8-year-old, and I probably would be comfortable with him seeing the first Guardians movie because the jokes that are adult would go over his head. And it was playful enough that even though like the violence is cartoony, man, the like animals torture where they're like peeling back tissue, poking and it is not.
Dude, the High Evolutionary's face at the end is fucking nightmare fuel.
Oh God,
Which
yes.
didn't make any sense. His face wouldn't be all gooey. That would have
No.
scarred over years ago.
Yeah. I was thinking
But
they were
yes,
just going to see
it
a
was
robot
nasty.
face, but
Yeah, that's
What
kind
they
of what
did
I
was
thought. A
fucking
robot
gross.
face with eyeballs.
Man, I am ready to jump up and go see it right now.
I bet you are, man.
The other thing, so me and Slender were talking when came out of the theater. I was like, "There's no repeat viewing on this movie is going to be like non-existent. Who would even people who liked it? I don't think are going to want to go see it again.
Not in the theater, no. I mean, it'll be streaming in 6 weeks because it's not going to do what they need it to do.
Yeah, I mean, it. Made
By the way, you misspelled of.
oh,
Yeah.
there-
Guardians Foe the Galaxy 3.
well, I
Oh,
was
that's
typing-
kind of
That's-
cute.
which is
Guardians
being free.
for the Galaxy.
Foe.
Okay, yeah, it's a black
That's
character. I get it.
That's the new team. Which, by the way, so the new team has, to get into the spoilers, it's the Cosmo, the super dog, the Kraglin, who is Sean Gunn, James Gunn's brother, who gets parts in every movie he makes.
Mhm.
Also does the motion capture for Rocket Raccoon, if anybody cares.
Also does the motion capture for that stupid thing in Suicide Squad, the weasel.
The Weasel. Yeah.
Oh, I love that thing though. I thought that was
Now-
hilarious.
Real quick, the girl in the bio lab who was like the one who was dispatching the security guards, was that James Gunn's wife again?
I don't know.
I feel
Couldn't
like
tell
I think it was James Gunn's wife, and he keeps giving her parts. You know, he gave her the parts in the DC stuff, and I'm kind of getting tired of him trying to force his wife down our throats.
Is she the
Look.
blonde chick in Peacemaker?
Yes, Agent like hardcore or whatever. her
I
name
don't.
is.
I don't mind seeing her in a few things, but no, I
Look.
didn't notice her in this.
I'll say this: if you want to experience a good Guardian of the Galaxy story, the game that came out maybe a couple years ago, Guardians of the Galaxy, whatever it was called,
That's the
so
Telltale one?
fun. Yeah, no,
It wasn't Telltale. Was it the same kind of gameplay where it's? No, wait, maybe I'm thinking of different.
Telltale games aren't fun, man.
No,
Telltale
it
games
wasn't-
are like
it-
The Walking Dead. and
yeah,
stuff.
no, it wasn't that.
It was okay.
No, I was talking to
Yeah.
Lil Chad.
No,
I know it wasn't that. I'm just
Yeah,
saying Telltale games aren't fun.
The gameplay is great. You know, you have a lot of synergy with you and your team, and the story was fantastic. And they didn't make Cosmo a girl.
Oh, that's yeah.
So it was. Yeah, it's just called Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, it's so much
or
fun.
Xbox. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so much fun, dude. I enjoyed it. I've been meaning to play it again. And I have time now because of oh boy,
I
this
have time
fucking
now.
this fucking Jedi game. Let me tell you something.
Oh, Jedi Survivor.
I
I've heard.
wanted
we knew
to-
it was broken. Why'd
I
you play it?
know. but I couldn't
Wasn't there
wait.
was it like a 100 gig patch that
I
they
don't
put
know.
out?
Anyway, I am stuck. It crashes every. I'm on Jeddah, which is like the second place you go to, and it crashes constantly there, no matter what I do, and it's so frustrating, you know, because sure shit ain't my machine.
Who released this game?
I don't know.
I
who
know what
made
you're
it.
doing.
This is EA. It was EA through Respawn, I believe. Right?
Oh, you expected a quality product from EA.
How did you motherfuckers not listen? The first one didn't come out like this.
That's your fault, Matt.
I know. I bought it even though I knew this was happening, but I couldn't wait, man.
You bought it.
I was
you
excited to
bought
play
with
it.
That,
I mean, you're probably gonna run out and get the next CD Projekt Red game right off the cuff too,
You
huh?
son of a bitch. If it's The Witcher, yes.
what about you bought it? You bought it in spite of the ginger nightmare fuel.
Oh,
of
thank
the-
God that he gets a beard very early on. You can get a full beard really quickly. I'm like, thank God, cover up that face.
And,
That dude is
I-
like completely interchangeable with the guy who plays Adam
Adam
Warlock.
Warlock? Yeah.
Yeah, I get them mixed up all
Is
the
it not
time.
the same? It's not.
It's
the same
not
dude.
the
No,
same guy,
one
no.
was the guy that was the gay brother in what's that stupid TV show? The one that takes place in Boston, came over here from England. The dad's a drunk. Did you guys not watch that show?
Oh, you're talking about not senseless.
Shameless.
Shameless, yeah.
He's the gay brother in that.
Wait, which one is that? That's the one that's in the Jedi game.
Suddenly,
Yeah,
Matt is like,
Jedi
wait,
game.
who's got a gay brother? I want to
Yeah.
watch this shit.
No,
And
I
then
know
the
the
other,
show.
then the other guy is in that movie with Jennifer Aniston and Ed Helms.
Yeah, the family trip.
We're the Millers. We're the Millers.
Yeah, We're the Millers.
Yeah,
Which I liked.
I like that movie a lot.
Yeah.
No regrets. No regrets.
yeah, but
Not
those
even
guys
a
are like
single letter.
completely interchangeable. They're the same. They look the same. They've got the same level of acting talent. It's very minimal.
Ooh,
He
shots
worked out-
fired.
He worked really well in the We're the Millers though, because he was playing such a nerdy character.
Yeah,
And
like
then when he breaks,
freckle-faced
I'm
ginger.
sure Mad really loved when he starts doing the rap break from Waterfalls.
Oh no, the girlfriend loved it. Are you kidding?
Let's see. Tina says I completely miss seeing which character was played by Michael Rosenbaum, and that Linda Cardellino was Lila's voice.
yeah. She
Yeah.
was the otter.
She was the otter. Who was Michael Rosenbaum? I don't know. I
I
did
have
look
to
up.
know who
and
that is.
I looked
Who
it
is
up,
Michael
and
Rosenbaum? Where do I know
He
that
was
name?
Lex Luthor from Smallville.
Oh, okay.
He was also in that
That-
movie from the late 90s, early O's, where the guys pretend to be girls to live in a sorority. Which was
Oh,
kinda
sorority
funny.
boys.
Yeah, exactly.
He
was
plays
the one.
Martin X. I don't even know which character that is.
They all have these.
Yeah,
weird,
I
did
was
look
looking it up too.
Yeah, it is James Gunn's wife, by the way, in that scene where she's the administrator dispatching the security people. He
Who the
he
hell
gave
is
her a
Martin
part.
X?
I don't know.
Yeah, was he even in the movie?
Was that the guy who Nathan Fillion was making fun of for being
For being an idiot.
for being an idiot, for being Frittata?
If this picture is to be believed, Martin X, he didn't play Martin X, he cameoed. Martin X is the one with like the crystallized face. He's one of the
Oh,
Ravagers
yeah,
that
yeah.
was
Oh,
just
the
laughing
Ravager.
in the background.
Yeah, that's right. Because it's just like with Sylvester Stallone playing Starhawk. Like these were some of the guys from the actual comic book, like way back when.
One of the teams.
Yeah, like some of the original Guardians of the Galaxy teams.
Cool.
Seth Green as Howard the Duck again. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was. I mean, nothing's gonna ever beat the George Lucas Howard.
Absolutely
the Duck
not,
with
no.
Tim Robbins. So if you don't have Tim Robbins flying an ultralight plane with a midget playing Howard the Duck in a movie, it's not good.
If you don't have Leela,
Beastie with Leah Thompson.
yeah, if you don't have Leela Thompson looking at a duck condom,
Was it Play Duck? Remember the very beginning of the movie? It was
Yeah.
so terrible. Oh, and come on, it was like I've got space rabies, man. I actually really enjoyed that Howard the Duck movie when I was like 7. So I can't.
I enjoy it now.
And they
It's
had that nice
interesting.
theme song. I mean, it was one of the first major Marvel movies, if you want to count that.
It was the first Marvel movie.
I think there was a
Nope.
Spider-Man was a TV movie. I take that back. The Jonathan Hammond Spider-Man from the 70s was TV movies. So,
Guy from Jurassic Park made a Spider-Man movie.
the actor, was it Andrew Hammond? Maybe it was Andrew Hammond.
I don't know. I was just going off of
Do
Hammond.
you don't remember the like really bad Spider-Man movies from the 1970s?
No, I missed those.
It was so bad.
I wasn't born yet. How would I remember those?
Well, I wasn't born yet either, but they would have still been playing.
I
Probably.
watched them in the video
I never
store.
watched anything that came out before I was born.
Okay, Jennifer Lawrence.
Like, yeah, you know that you could. There
Like
used to be
Star
things-
Wars, I started on the third one.
You know, they had things called video stores there, Slender, and you could rent movies that were made before you were born.
Oh, prove
Well-
that to a millennial.
We
you
just
are
lost a
old-
large
you are-
chunk of your relatively small audience.
Did we? I know that Slender likes to pretend he's not a millennial, but he is. So sorry, buddy.
I do not subscribe to millennial. I subscribe to the subsection known as zennial.
That's what I am too, is a zennial.
Look, we can all pretend that actually is a legit thing officially.
Yeah, but based on the
demographically, or-
technical definition of millennial, we're not that. We did not grow up with the technology of today. We
The
got it
internet
in
was
high
not
school
a
in
thing
our
when we
20s.
were small.
So
All
you,
right.
you can't categorize us as millennial because we don't fit the definition.
Yeah, we
So
grew up
just,
outside. We didn't get the internet till later. Like
yeah.
eighth,
Yeah, me
ninth
and my
grade.
cousin almost killed ourselves like 4 times trying to tie up a tire swing that was at the top of a hill going down into a valley,
That sounds
climbing
about
out
right.
on that tree, falling out of it twice.
So here's the. I'm gonna just let's see. Hopefully it plays right. This is. I put it on mute just in case there's any copywritten thing, but this is from the 1970s. This was the high-end Spider-Man show they were doing for TV.
Is this the Japanese one where he has
No,
like
this-
guns and shit?
No, this is an American one that they made, and I watched every one of the TV movies.
Yeah, come
'Cause-
on. This is the 70s, man. Japan didn't have windows or carpet back then.
You look at the eyes too. It's just like the. Oh, here you go. He's gonna fight the samurai with the kendo stick.
Wait, are you sure this isn't the Japanese one?
This feels very Japanese.
Nope, this one was made in the U.S. Because
Okay, now there's 2 Japanese people. Nope, just one and a Hispanic guy.
so you see, it's American.
Actually, they made most both be Hispanic.
That's true. Like,
Like the doctor in that last movie.
all right.
So when is
This is
Spider-Man
so
going to
boring.
use some of his Spider-Man powers?
Yeah,
Why are we
My
watching
brother
this?
won.
It's so boring.
that's
He's using his Spidey sense.
That was the accents? Oh.
Yeah.
Why is he running like a bitch?
Because he's Spider-Man. He
Web
should be
him up.
Dude, we need to do the movies with Matt on this one.
Look at this. Like, that was his combat move. Was gonna block and just kick daintily. I want Matt. Can you and Shredda like redub these fight scenes for us?
Oh, now he's using the powers, and none of them think to swing up at him.
Hold on, get down here.
And look.
Oh,
we're
dude, they
just gonna
speed it
run
up.
the film. Yep.
Oh my god, that one dude waited for so long.
Yeah, it's like John Wick 4.
Did he just throw a sword at him?
Well, no, he threw a kendo stick.
Well, yeah, a kendo stick, but
This is horrible. I can't believe it's still. I'm not even looking anymore. I'm gonna go do what I was doing.
And WWF was choreographed better.
That was high quality.
Mhm.
It was
I mean,
not.
for the 70s, that wasn't terrible.
Did you ever see the
You don't have to
The-
highlight.
the
When I'm
Captain
on.
America one? The one where his best move was, "I'm feeling sick. Can you pull the car over?"
Are you talking about,
Yes.
the 1990 one with the best part was that the president of the United States was the OCP vice president that gun down the guy who created RoboCop. What
I
was
mean,
his
here's the
name?
thing as far as that Spider-Man fight scene goes, though, right? Like, it was up against, like, Batman from the 70s. So, I feel like they did okay.
Well, look, I mean, if you go back to Green Hornet and Batman from the 60s, because they were 66 and 67, they had better, I think, better fight
At least they covered
choreography.
it up with bam and blam.
Yeah, and Green Hornet had, Bruce Lee when he wasn't fighting Brad Pitt on the set.
When he wasn't getting beat up by stunt doubles.
My hands are registered weapons. If I hit you and you die, I go to jail. That movie is. I love that movie. Slender. Have you seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Nope. I want to. It's just
Wait,
haven't
what
got
is it
around
called?
to
What one?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh yeah, it's really good.
Tarantino.
Yeah, it's hilarious. You got it. You got to
I
go
think-
see it.
I gotta be in like a certain mood to watch a Tarantino flick.
Oh,
but-
you got to be ready to see some feet. That's for sure.
Well, of course. Yeah, definitely gotta be ready to see some feet.
Oh, he
Yeah.
leaned into it hard this time too. Like Andy McDowell's daughter was like just being highlighted on her feet for like minutes at a time.
If you got to be in a certain mood to watch Tarantino, then you better be in that mood when you try to watch that new movie Sisu, whatever it's called.
I haven't
It's
seen
like a Tarantino movie in Finland or something. So it was good, but it's just senseless violence throughout the whole movie, like a Tarantino movie. No plot,
Yeah.
just going from scene to scene killing. I watched it yesterday too. It was good, but it's very Tarantino-ish.
Yeah, I mean, I don't usually watch like Finnish. I mean, then I'd have to deal with the Andre accent. Like, that's near Finland, right?
No, it's actually done pretty good on the voice work.
Did they dub it?
I couldn't tell.
Did anyone see that movie Trolls back in the day?
Trolls 2.
Or Trolls.
Not the animated one. The one that like actually came out
Troll
of
with Sonny Bono.
Yeah, that was the first one.
Yeah.
It was like
I
where
gotta
they were
find
in a
it.
Little
where they
girl
were
with
in
a ball that bounces down the stairs, and then she
And-
meets the troll, and it gives
Oh,
her a ring, and she
yeah.
infects everybody, and
they
turns
become
half the building
mushrooms,
into
like the talking mushrooms, and then the princess who lived on the
Sonny Bono was in that.
He
No, I gotta find it. I might be misquoting.
I found the
name.
movie that we're going to be watching after this.
What's
It better
that?
not be Trolls too.
It's Ninja Terminator.
Wait, is
Ooh.
this as good as Robo Ninja?
You think Ninja
We'll see
Terminators
and
are
find
better
out.
than robot ninjas?
We'll wait and find out.
Or no, not robot ninjas. Robot vampires. Robot vampires versus Ninja Terminators. That'd be pretty cool.
Will the Ninja Terminators turn into turtles and then turn into black kids?
What?
Oh yeah, that's been making the rounds on Twitter.
Yeah. All the Ninja Turtles in human form are all black kids.
Then why aren't they saying the N word?
That's what we said. They should have
It's funny because someone kept saying like there's a thing on Twitter where somebody's like, I feel so great, I'm crying because I'm finally recognized, blah blah, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And then somebody in the comments said, Cowabunga, homies. And I was like, yeah, that was the parlance of the time. But
Cool.
I think it's stupid.
I'm gonna. All right, so
You gonna rope it
fine.
back into Guardians?
No, I think just final verdict. I think Guardians is.
I'm going to give it a 5.5 out of 10.
I think if you have Disney Plus, wait 5-6 weeks. 7 weeks.
To go back to what I was talking about, it's a movie called Troll Hunter. It's subtitled, but it's a group of students investigating a series of mysterious bear killings, but learns that there are much more dangerous things going on. They start to
Yeah.
follow a mysterious hunter, learning that he is actually a troll hunter.
I never saw it.
Nope.
It's actually decent. Like, it's pretty good. I enjoyed it.
Hmm.
And I don't normally like watching subtitled shit because
Yeah, me
I'm
either.
a slow reader. So
Yeah, fuck that shit.
Too
You know
much
what
work.
I find weird? I find it weird when people prefer to watch things with subtitles on it, even though they miss any words on the screen. They will miss. Like, let's say we're watching Dungeons and Dragons, and after the title scroll, someone said, "What's this movie called?" You didn't see the giant Dungeons and Dragons on the screen?
Did this happen tonight, man?
No,
Oh, okay.
it happened earlier.
Yeah.
It was still afternoon.
so like this afternoon.
Not gonna say who it was.
So I'm gonna.
We all know it was Shredder.
Yeah, I know.
So let's see. All right, here's a fun thing. All right, so IDW Comics. Anybody ever bought any of those? Probably not. Besides me, I'm the only
Nerd.
one. Really, yeah. So they are going through massive bankruptcy for being, stupid, go woke, go broke type people, and so they're promoting, from within to try to, get this. So this is who they're promoting to be their lead licensed comics. Her name's Heather Antos. She is known for being the person who spurred the your boy, Comics Matter with your boy Zach and his crowdfunding and trying to get him canceled. But this is what's hilarious to me is that her main claim to fame for licensed comics is she was the editor who approved this comic.
Snowflake.
Here we go. Could anyone tell me why they think why editorial should have not approved this comic pretty quickly?
It's very well drawn. I like the use of negative space. They spelled the name April wrong.
That would be number one right there. She was
Arple O'Neil.
She was the editor, and she's now overseeing licensed comics. And she approved as the editor.
Women can't do anything.
Arple O'Neil.
Rama, you were being sarcastic about it being well drawn, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just the delivery
I was just
so
talking.
deadpan,
I was
thought
talking
maybe
while I
you were
was trying to
serious.
figure out where it was wrong, and I started at the bottom of the picture, so I had to work my way to the top.
Started on the bottom, now you're here. That's right, you're like Drake. There you go.
He's not
Yeah.
Canadian. Wait, is Drake Canadian?
He is. He was on Degrassi.
Degrassi.
Plus, I mean, you'd think if your title is going to be Arple O'Neil, you would put Arple O'Neil on the cover. I thought she was black.
I mean, this has the feel of something you would buy at CVS.
Like where it's
It's
the knockoff
just
brand.
yeah, it just
Because
enough.
they ran out of toilet paper.
Well, no, just
that's,
enough.
That's why it's Arple and not April, because they were avoiding that copyright.
Yeah, it's different just enough so they can get away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
the
this-
spam emails of
This
comic
is the
books.
Chinese knockoff. No, this not April O'Neil. This Arple O'Neil.
Yeah, but for people who think, I know it's quite the topic du jour the last week and a half in the
What?
Twitter space was like, what does art matter? Does culture matter? Like comics specifically?
I'm trying to think of what the turtles would be called. Would it be
Well,
preteen? Damn it! I had it before you were talking. It would be preteen, otherly different. No, not mutated. So it would be preteen.
Inhuman.
No, it'd be adolescent Wuhan science experiment with turtles.
You know what it was
Okay.
because Tiny Toon Adventures covered that way back in the 90s. It was immature radioactive samurai slugs. It's like
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. But or Battletoads, because that was another clear ripoff of Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, I thought Mad was going to go in a different direction with that. Like, what would the turtles be called? How would you misspell their name? Like Leonardo.
Oh, look at this.
Leonardo.
We got some inside shit right here. Tina Bosch says IDW was one of my clients when I worked direct marketing. They never had their stuff together. Well, that would explain it. Because if you're mailing off Arpel O'Neill comics and making the person who edited that the head of licensed, yeah.
I had to change it to live chat to see that because it doesn't consider that a top chat with
How's
the
that?
one person in chat.
Shouldn't all the chats be top chat?
And I would
It's just
assume
me and her.
They'd all be the top chats at this point. That's not just you guys.
No, it actually is just them.
No.
I see two watching right now, and I'm in there typing. Oh, well, you don't count. You barely
Why? Because
count
I'm on the
as a-
show? Why do you
barely
count?
count as a panel member.
They get most of their views off of Twitter, though. To be fair,
I'm trying to experiment.
Wait,
'cause
we
I'm-
get views?
I didn't put it on Twitter this time since we're doing it on Rumble. I wanted to see if we
this
could
motherfucker.
try. I'm trying to see if I can get people to watch on Rumble. Brahma told me it's a live streaming platform.
Did you put in categories?
I did.
What did you use? Entertainment and news?
Entertainment and film review.
Okay. Have you been looking to see if you're on the top page?
I did not. I'm not seeing if I'm. Let's see.
I'll look. You talk.
That's
Your
cool.
show.
I had it open to the feed in case anyone ever chatted on Rumble since they don't show up on.
We are number
StreamYard.
3 on the front page of the entertainment section of Rumble at the moment.
boy, that quickly turned into a we, didn't it? He saw we're.
That's
so it's
cool.
in the
I'm
top
okay
three?
if Brahma wants to muscle in and become our unofficial manager because he knows
I managed and
Rumble
produced it. I
shit
told
better
him to
than
go
we
to
do.
Rumble and do it. So, yeah, I take credit.
I am.
We're
definitely-
putting right after your intro. We're gonna have it just pop in like produced by Brahma Bull.
I steal credit like Mad steals jokes.
What the
fuck? Tina, thank you for having the stream just for you. You're welcome, Tina. And Matt doesn't steal jokes because I've never
Fuck
heard.
no.
I've never heard any of these jokes Yeti claims were stolen ever. come
Matt
out of
has
his mouth.
never been caught stealing a joke.
Nope.
Nope. That's
Especially
true.
since we've had individual audio feeds. Now,
Now
other
there's
people
one
steal
watching on
jokes?
Rumble.
Yeah, two.
It's me.
Two watching. There's
Oh.
two watching.
Well, I'm one of them. Did you click into it? Because you would be the second.
Well, there you go. Yeah, so I think is it supposed to be next week that StreamYards is going to start building in the API for Rumble? Because
I haven't heard that, but that would be fantastic. I'm tired of
it's
doing
such
it
a
the way I
pain
have
in
to
the
do it.
ass to have to set up every individual stream for
Yeah.
Rumble.
Stream key and change it out every single week. Yeah.
I know. I
annoying.
know. Was it on the Wednesday show when Sporking is always complaining about how setting up the Rumble?
Sporking complains? I don't believe that.
Nah, he's fine. He's good. Good people. But
Apparently,
yeah,
it's down to me and you.
Yeah, it's fine. Oh no, we're up to 3 now. So there must be some other person who's
No, I
not
mean
here.
on the panel. Oh, there's Slender. He decided to unmute.
I was gonna say, what are you talking about? We're right here. I'm just listening to you two go back and forth on this, and I keep thinking to myself, I wonder if this resonates with anybody. I guess half our audience is people who also produce content, so they probably have had these conversations.
I've told you before that our podcast is going to be Open Anthony hangout style, and it'll just go wherever it goes. So
And then get cut into shorts.
exactly, the shorts are where we get views. that's in fact, I am like we put out a positive short where I was talking. It was a cut up of me.
That was your
talking about-
first mistake, Lil Chad.
That was what I was going to get at, where it was me talking about how I was happy people were giving positive reviews to Picard because it's good when we can enjoy things. It got like a quarter of the views that Slender's rants get. Every time he's just yelling about, it's like the algorithm really is the dark side. It wants to feed on the hate.
And this is why evil will always triumph over good, because good is stupid.
Like, I put a short out there with him talking about how Velma is just a cannibalized reskinning of Scooby-Doo for their own agenda. Thousands of views. It's like, hey, isn't it nice that we all like Picard? Hundreds of views. It's not even. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of depressing sometimes.
Isn't it though? Like, don't you? I was like, shouldn't positivity get something? Maybe.
I
Nope.
mean, it's like the Sith versus the Jedi, right? You channel the dark side, you're going to get an instant burst of power. But if you focus on the light side, you'll probably become more powerful in the long run, but it'll take forever. So you know what? Fuck that shit. Instant gratification.
Yeah, but Star Wars also taught us that it takes forever, like Yoda, and then you just get beat by a dark sider anyway.
What? Yeah, and what Star Wars also
And if you
taught
don't
us.
get beat, you eventually give up and just go live out in the middle of nowhere drinking green titty milk.
And then fade.
Well, and it also taught us that eventually Palpatine's just going to win by having his clone granddaughter take Skywalker's name. And just be like,
Yeah.
I'm Ray Skywalker. Identity theft happens, people.
Palpatine
I
take a
almost
long
wish
cuck.
that like Luke's Force Ghost would have appeared behind her and been like, "The fuck you are."
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's stupid, and I'm actually as a YouTuber now, I'm really excited to be able to ride the wave of them making another Ray movie, but as a Star Wars fan, not at all. Not
Yeah, but that's gonna be content creation gold.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I never got to be part of the Brie Larson like wave of views and subscribers, so I can't.
I
wait.
mean,
feel-
that's coming back around too, though, with Aquaman 2. So,
oh,
That's
no,
Amber
Amber
Heard.
Heard.
oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I
And
always
she's
mix those
quit
two up.
acting.
Did she?
Well,
ever
Amber Heard
actually
has
act?
boobs, and Brie has pretend boobs in that last preview, but I don't believe they're that big.
There
Does
was
either of
only-
them have an ass, though?
No.
I don't think so. I know Brie doesn't.
There's only been one movie where I thought Brie Larson was really good in the role she was cast, and that was Scott Pilgrim, where she was playing the vindictive just
Vanity or
terrible-
whatever her name was.
Yeah, like it was like that role worked because she.
Oh, Envy Adams.
Envy
Yeah,
Adams.
Envy, not Vanity. Yeah.
yeah. She
He
wasn't
knocked it.
supposed to be likable, so it worked.
He knocked
Yeah.
the highlights out of her hair, man.
That
Do
was
you see-
probably my favorite fight. Was when he fought the bass player.
I love.
Did
the
you
vegan-
see that
the
story
vegan
about
police.
Amber Heard today?
No, what did happen with Amber Heard today? Did she actually try to act or
I'm
something?
going around Twitter. No, she retired from acting and she moved I think to Spain or something with her kid.
I
But
mean,
Good.
with Elon's baby.
there's a new picture going around of her taking a dump on the street while her friends are trying to provide cover for her. So
She pulled a friggin'
dumps
bridesmaid.
everywhere. Yeah.
Like,
If it's not on the bed, it's in the street. Anywhere but a toilet for her.
Does she have like a loose bowel or something? Is like this something she can't control?
IBS? I don't know. I don't even know if it's real, but it's been going around Twitter today. So
I mean,
I feel like that's so perfect for her being terrible that it has to be fake.
it's in character.
But then I've thought that a lot of times about stuff that goes on the internet, and then you find out it's legit real, and you're like, come on.
yeah,
we're
but
in a
that's the thing. I feel like most people would go to make that up, and they'd be like, "Nobody's gonna believe this." Like that's one of those
Right.
things that's so unbelievable it has to be true.
We've got it. That's the stuff where people are start getting me to believe maybe we are living in the simulation, and the CERN thing is starting to screw with it. Like they turned on the collider again, and stuff is just getting crazy.
Nah, it's just like every video game you've ever played where you're kind of doing a god simulator. Like even Grand Theft Auto is a perfect example. Like I play the game real straight laced and I'm trying to do my best and get the best possible outcomes for everything until I've been playing for several hours and then I get bored. And then I start setting things on fire and blowing things up. And
Killing
eventually
hookers and whatnot.
yeah, you just destroy everything. Like that is
Which-
how those games always devolve.
Which was your favorite Grand Theft Auto? Because there's a right answer, and I'm wondering if you're going to give it.
Are you asking
know
Slender?
what? I probably will not give the right answer because I like one that most people have forgotten about.
What would that be?
Los Santos.
Okay, Brahma, what, did you have one?
I honestly played it for maybe 10 minutes and was bored out of my mind. So
From the original Grand Theft Auto 3 that came out, or like Any of
Well,
the
I had
sequels.
played the original Grand Theft Auto on the PlayStation.
way back one, yeah.
That bored me. Then I tried 3 once they kind of switched it to the different view, and still didn't give a crap.
Sorry, I gave the name of the city that it takes place in. It's actually Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. That's
Yeah.
the one I like.
Yeah, I
San
figured
Andre-
what you meant, but
Yeah, so Vice City is the correct answer. Vice City is the one that's the most fun. They actually Ray Liotta is doing the voice acting for the main character. You get the like crazy '80s Miami Vice setting. It's got the '80s music. That's the best one. It's so over the top. Like you can buy the Scarface mansion. There's a mission where you're in the mansion once you own it, and then it's being invaded just like Scarface. I mean, that was the best one.
yeah.
Hands
I mean,
down.
as much as I like Elden Ring, I don't do open world games very often because I there's a main mission that kind of like I didn't do um Skyrim or the other one after that. I don't play any of the games Mad plays, really, the open world games, because I just get, kind of
Well-
into side missions and then lose interest because I never make it back to do anything.
Oh, that's what did me in on it's not Elder Scrolls, it's the other Fallout 3. That's what did me in. I did so many side missions and I had not progressed the story at all, but I hit max level, which was 20. And I
Yeah.
was like, well, what's the point now? I've like
Right.
I can't get any better. So why would I continue to pursue stuff? And like I was like full on like stealth ninja that somehow could sneak up on people with a sword that was on fire because I had a propane tank strapped to my back that was attached to the sword.
Even like Cyberpunk, I played it for a few hours, and then, once I actually hit the streets, I was just like, I don't care.
No, there's an interesting balance you have to strike with open world games, and a lot of those ones that are just boasting the biggest world, they become an ocean a mile wide and an inch deep.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's just nothing going on in the whole world. So like
And I think
yes,
the
you're
only
giving
reason
me
I
this
got through,
giant map, but what can I really do in it aside from fetch quests and go here, kill these?
yeah, I think the only reason I got through Elden Ring is because I like Dark Souls, the whole series of Dark Souls so much that it was just like, well, it's familiar. I mean, it's not
Well,
like
and they do
progressing
their
through
open world
a
very
level.
differently. Like
Yeah.
I almost wouldn't classify that as a sandbox. Yes, it's an open world, but it's not as sandboxy as a lot of other ones, you know?
Right, you're pretty much on your own. There's very few NPCs. I mean, there is a storyline if you want to dig into the item descriptions on everything, but really it's just, hey, there's a cave. I'm going to go kill everything in it. Then I'm going to progress a little bit
Yeah,
further.
I'm gonna
and kill
see how
everything
far
in
I
it.
can go into that cave. And if
Yeah.
I run into problems, I'm gonna run away, and then I'm gonna go find somewhere else to go and
Then
see
I'm
how
gonna
far I can
bookmark
go
it and
there.
come back later.
Is that kind of how we like to play Conan over
Well, I mean, the first Dark Souls, that's exactly what happened to me. Like after you get out of the asylum, you can go right or you can go left. And if you go right, you're gonna get fucked because those skeletons in that graveyard, you're not ready for them yet.
No, it was very good about telling you, you're not supposed to be here yet. Go away, little boy.
Yeah, I tried so hard though. And then you get a little farther, and if you do manage to somehow get past the skeletons, I did it by training them all the way up the hill and then getting them to fall off the edge of the world when they swung at me. But then you get
past
into
them
the
and you
cave.
find out you're even more screwed.
Yeah, then you get into the cave with the exploding heads and the invisible shit that you can't even see, and it's like, yeah, I don't think I'm supposed to be here yet.
Yeah.
It's always good when the game has like zones that you can see and go to, but you like we're letting you know that you're gonna get one shotted if you even try it.
No, the Dark Souls games do a great job of that. They despite the fact that it's an open world, you can figure out where you can and cannot go relatively easily.
Yeah. Your first playthrough, it makes it linear because it's forcing you to go certain directions.
Another game I think did it really well was The Witcher 3 because it's not a giant sandbox. You get smaller sandboxes that you go through the phase of that part, and then you go into the next one, and the next one, and the next one. So in a way, it keeps it manageable. because I think part of the problem with those sandbox games is there's just too much to digest, and eventually you get full.
The most irritating thing, or the most the thing that would turn me off quick, is if I see 1,000 fucking icons on the map. I'm like, oh my god, I don't want to.
What if it's an open world game and you don't even get a mini map though? How frustrating is that?
Yeah, that can be frustrating.
Hey, Conan developers, put in a freaking mini map on your, like option on your screen, man.
You can pull up a map and see where you're at.
You can pull up a map, and sometimes when we do,
I guarantee you, if you want a mini map, you can probably go into the Steam Workshop and find or not a client, but a player-based mod that'll put a mini map on your screen.
Yeah, but that won't. That won't work with my computer. And
So-
Well, then why are you telling them to put a mini map on there? That's going to eat up more processing power you don't fucking have.
it'll just mean less stuff renders in the distance, and then I can lead Mad more.
No, it won't.
accurately.
It's going to mean they're going to put a transparent mini map on there so you can see what's going on behind the mini map, and that's going to start tapping more of the graphics card that isn't even in your laptop.
Because you need to just give me a destination I can lead Mad to in Conan.
Oh, don't worry. I'm working on a side project for a place you guys are going to have to come visit at some point.
So, did any of you guys play Grounded?
I played it for a
The
couple
one that
minutes.
came out earlier this year?
I don't know. Oh, is that the one where the kids get shrunk down?
Yeah.
Yeah, the bugs.
Yeah,
it's
that was
another
stupid to
survival
me.
game, but with bugs.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
looked
didn't
dumb
like
to me.
it.
No? Okay.
I get what they were trying to do, but it's like one of 1,000 survival builder games that exist, and
You mean
it doesn't
Conan?
necessarily seem.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. So what
That's
drew
what
you
I'm
to
saying. It
Conan,
doesn't
then?
necessarily seem bad to me, but there are probably better choices for me because I am a grown ass man.
I
Agreed.
went with Conan because my YouTuber over here started playing it, and then Slender started playing it, and then I was like, well, I need.
Oh, I've
to
learned
play.
when Mad tells you to get a game not to put out any money for anything. We just abandoned it within weeks.
I have not.
He hasn't abandoned Conan yet.
He hasn't abandoned this one. It's like the one. And then when I go buy it, he'll be like, "And we're done."
And we're done here.
Yeah, moving on.
We got other people over there. That we got Jane Theory, one man
By
show.
the way,
He's in there
Brahma,
now.
Jane Theory really, really likes to give you very helpful advice that won't get you murdered
Shit.
at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't believe that for a second.
Yeah, if you decide to stream the game when you do just start playing, because you're going to start playing eventually, we know. But when you decide to stream the game, do whatever Jane suggests. It will work.
Yeah, she was very helpful when I was leading Mad along our journey.
She
Like
walked
when
him
I-
directly into a volcano.
No, there was a part where I just stormed right through an arena where Mad got one-shotted by like a super high-level boss.
I lived.
You live. Did your
Yeah, I
little
lost a guy.
manservant?
Yeah.
What was his name?
Grey
He didn't
Worm.
have one. Oh, Grey
His
Worm.
name was
Yeah, he
Grey
did.
Worm.
Yeah,
You know where he got killed? I went back and watched the footage.
I did
He
too.
got killed by that giant jackal man in the arena that he wasn't supposed to fight.
Yep.
Yeah, whereas I just that's the advantage of not rendering. I just galloped right through, and I was like, this seems like a fairly open spot.
Yeah, man, this place is empty. I figured they'd have put some monsters in
It's
here.
like, why are you guys so worried about this?
It's like in not Guardians of the Galaxy. What is it? The one where you don't forget your towel.
The
Hitchhiker's Guide
to the Galaxy.
Yeah, it's like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. He can't see them, so they can't see him.
Oh, it's a show for people. These are the videos we're talking about are available on Mad's channel, Mad Barber Entertainment. And you can watch our Conan streams that are very entertaining. At least they are when it's me trying to lead Mad with my Surface Pro that doesn't have a graphics card.
And like I said, there will be another one of those evolutions coming up soon because I'm working on something.
Which, by the way, I'm also... So I've got two things going for me. I'm running the game off an external hard drive, and then I have no graphics
No
card.
graphics card.
So it's like...
I'm surprised it even boots up for you then.
There's a case like when I first tried it, it got a little finicky, but there is
There's a setting in the graphics that you can actually click called
It's
low performance
low-end.
laptop.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it makes it work, man. It's really good because I can see enemies further in the distance than most because there's no landscapes that render
No
for
world.
me.
Yeah, the
So there's
grass
no
doesn't render, the rocks don't render, the
It's just
ore
a
doesn't
flat
render.
wasteland.
I swear I was going back and I was watching the video stream from Mad's channel. I was like, oh my god, this game looks really nice.
What game is that?
It's like you've got like ripples in the sand and everything. I don't
Yeah.
got none of that.
Oh,
Is
I
that
was,
a
yeah,
bunch of fleas?
because I was looking over as we were recording, and I'd be like, "Oh wow, I like this game. This looks nice. This is a whole different experience."
You start watching Mad's screen to play the game.
Oh, all right. I think we'll do our last our standard thing,
Oh man, here we go. You haven't even pulled it up yet?
the Nielsen ratings.
I can hear you typing.
Well, yeah, because I'm a YouTuber's not YouTuber.
I've heard that The
I got
Mandalorian rebounded a bit in the last week.
Yeah,
Did it?
from my description, it did. Yeah, it actually did.
Not where I got that at all. It's my knowledge.
Unfortunately, it did. It got back over a billion streaming minutes, which that's the Lizzo episode. So I'm thinking people were streaming it to see the debacle.
Yeah, I think so
What
too.
the hell?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so if this is the Lizzo episode, I'm expecting a sharp drop after this one.
Well, after those are the season finale episodes. So we'll see. Yeah, if those don't perk up, that's a
I can't believe what they've done to Ted Lasso. I really enjoyed that show the first couple of seasons, but now it's like,
Now he's just a depressing moron, and they
Yeah.
don't have any soccer.
yeah.
Like nothing's going on with the team. They never show any games or anything. It's like it's kind of like ER started out as like an emergency room show, and then became a soap opera. Ted Lasso
That's-
started out as a soccer show and became a soap opera.
What's that one about?
a
Ted Lasso
soccer
is an
coach.
American football coach that gets hired to coach a soccer team in the UK,
Oh,
and he knows nothing
weird.
about soccer.
You know, Ben Shapiro was talking about this today.
yeah, I saw that.
He was actually saying that he used to watch the show and
Yeah.
he really liked the show and it's gone to shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It has. And then you've got the real life version of it. Welcome to Wrexham, which is
I like that one.
Rob
Is that the one-
McElhaney and Ryan
and Ryan
Reynolds.
Reynolds,
The
yeah.
documentary of them buying that team.
I'm kind of surprised NCIS is only at number 9 this week.
It's usually at 2 or 3.
Maybe the people were sucking it. Look, Night Agent that's like its 4th week on there. That one is the one that was sucking up all the viewing.
I've never heard of it. What is it?
Yeah,
It's a Netflix show. It's like a spy thriller kind of thing.
My
It's-
wife and daughters have been watching this Love is Blind crap.
Here's where I'm telling you, this is why David Zaslav has the right idea. That reality shit is cheap to make.
Mhm.
And look at those views. Like The Mandalorian was probably a $200 million investment for the season. Love is Blind season whatever was probably 10 million total, maybe.
Yeah, rent out a hotel and build a
Yeah.
wall.
Yeah, and it's getting more viewing minutes than The Mandalorian. Like, where are you going to invest your
Yeah,
money?
because the other thing is if you're doing like reality TV, those guys aren't actors. You don't got to pay them like you do with real actors.
Well, with
You
the
know-
writer's strike, that's what created reality TV
Yeah.
for the most
Yeah.
part in the first place. That
Yes,
that's all we're going to
South-
see.
Yeah, they
for the
don't
next
seem to
couple of years.
realize that every time they go on strike, they make it worse for themselves because they demonstrate how useless they really are.
Yeah, just like Major League Baseball, just like the NHL. Every time they go on strike, it comes back not as strong.
That's and did the South Park do an episode where they let Chat GPT like write
Yes.
the
Yes.
the tail end of it?
Yep,
Has
a whole
anybody watched
speech.
that?
Oh yeah,
Was it funny?
It was a
it
good
was
episode.
funny. It was a good
South
one.
Park has been having a nice rebound this season. They got a lot of well, I meant from ratings. They got a lot of pull off of the Harry and Meghan stuff, and it's
Oh yeah,
been
the
sticking.
Prince and Princess of Canada episode kind of revitalized them.
Yeah, it's only been I've only seen 6 episodes come out, and it's been like weeks since I've seen anything else. So I don't know if there's anything else coming.
Well, I know that's why HBO is suing Paramount because I guess South Park guys have been doing those specials for
Right.
Paramount, and that's sucking up episodes. Those shows would have been episodes in the seasons that HBO is paying for. Like HBO is the one paying to broadcast on streaming the actual seasons,
Right.
and so they've got a good point. Like Paramount is getting those specials are like hour and a half. That's 3-4 episodes of South Park.
Yeah, the Pandemic Special and Pandemic Special 2.
And I think the Streaming Wars wasn't that one of the
I think so.
Mhm.
so it was like I mean I don't know that it's like they're suing for like $300 million. I didn't think South Park would be worth that much, but
Well,
apparently
the
it is.
number is irrelevant on those lawsuits because it comes down to whatever the jury, if it gets that far, whatever a jury decides that it's worth. It's arbitrary. It's just a number to be put into the paperwork.
That's a good
Yeah.
point.
The South Park boys are opening up Casa Bonita this month in
Yeah,
Colorado.
I read an
Reopening.
interview, where they talked about how much of a giant money sink that thing turned out to be. It's
I'm sure it is. I mean, that place had the worst food in the world, but it had tons of nostalgia. I mean, just like the South Park episode. The South Park episode like maps that restaurant perfectly. But then think of it being like 70s styles. I mean, it was run down. So I'm interested to see what they do, and interested to see if they actually have real food now, because they hired like a 5-star Michelin chef or something to take
for
over that
Casa
kitchen.
Bonita, I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, you got to serve good food. Like, it's much as
Well,
people
that's
don't
the
want to
thing.
believe it. That's the draw. At the end of the day, that's what keeps people coming back.
But that was the thing. The place had so much nostalgia that even though parents absolutely hate the food, we would take our kids back there so that they could see, what we grew up with. And then the kids get hooked on it. They don't understand that it's crap food. They're like, okay, well, we get unlimited sopapillas. So force your way through that crappy taco and then get unlimited dessert.
Was there actually a water slide there or something like?
It's not a it's a waterfall, and they do
It's a
cliff diving indoors. Like there's a huge pool down at the bottom that they hire a whole bunch of, like local teenagers and college kids to come do cliff diving shows. And then they've got them in characters doing acting and all that kind of stuff. So it's an interesting place.
Did you go to this place when you were younger?
Oh yeah. I think
Did you go
every
to this
year.
place? Oh, go ahead.
So like, you would have like every other year you would have a different museum that you would visit on a school field trip or whatever. So we'd go to the museum and then Casa Bonita for the rest of the afternoon for lunch and on until you had to head back down to where I'm from Denver. So we were there all the time.
At any point, did you go to Casa Bonita after watching
South Park.
powerlifter guys rip rip phone books for Jesus?
Oh yeah, I've taken my kids a few times too.
Because I know that you are like the only person who's backing Matt up on this thing being ripped.
I have shown you guys footage.
You've shown me footage.
You've
of
shown
guys
us footage of people ripping phone
phone
books in
books.
half. I don't know that they were doing it for Jesus.
They were doing it for. Why else would you do it?
I like American Gladiators.
The girlfriend and I were talking about this last night. I don't know why. Because we were just riffing, kind of improv, and I had Paul come in. Jesus, what are we gonna do about all these phone books? We gotta start ripping phone books. We gotta get rid of them. You're gonna have to empower some people. I don't know why I gave him that voice, but this went on forever last night.
Are you impersonating like the satyr from Hercules at this
Well,
point?
It kind of felt like what's his name, Harvey Keitel.
What about it? I thought it was calzone.
No, kinda. But well, even that it's based on Harvey Keitel's. Who did he play in the Last Temptation? He played one of the apostles. I can't remember if he was.
I can't remember. I haven't seen it in forever.
Oh man! But he would be like, yeah, but but Jesus though, he can't get rid of that New York accent. He's like, I don't know, Jesus. You
He was
probably shouldn't
Judas.
go out there. They looking for us.
He was Judas. He was Judas Iscariot.
Oh, was he?
The only
Yeah.
Christian Harvey Keitel has ever heard is Carmen, the old 80s singer.
Oh, that was yeah.
Jesus, you know I love you. I love you, but you know they gave me the 10 pieces.
It's 30 pieces silver.
Oh, okay, 30. Hey, it's been a minute.
Brahma, are you excited that Walken's going to be playing the Emperor in Dune Part 2?
Of course.
What? I didn't know that.
When they announced it, like the third video on my channel was me just I did like a reface of Walken and read a whole bunch of lines from the original Dune movie
Paul
as Walken.
Atreides.
Dude, total side note. Apparently, Matt already did the version of giving us the wrap it up music on our show.
Are you talking about the message with the link?
Yeah, I'm talking about him already starting up a fucking new studio. Like, hey, look, there's the studio for the movie that we're gonna watch.
Oh, it's in Twitter.
Yeah.
I was looking in private chat. I was like, he hasn't said anything for a while.
No, I thought that Dune, the second Dune trailer came out, and I
Yeah,
thought it looked interesting. Looked
I-
good.
That's interesting.
no cap, man. This is probably going to be the first movie I go to the theater to see that I want to go see, not out of some obligation for YouTube.
Slender,
Yeah.
I got you to come over to the home theater to watch that one during the pandemic, right? Was that
What, the first Dune? Yeah, it was
first
pretty
Dune?
good.
Yeah.
Like I said, the only
Post-pandemic,
issue I
wasn't it?
have with it is those fucking aircraft have so many mechanical points of failure.
Yeah.
Why the hell would you be
For
flying
sure.
around with those on a desert planet?
The Thopters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's terrible design for a desert.
I actually think it's a great example of pacing being done well, because even though it's a long movie, it does not feel you can't feel the
Well,
length
the
of the
books
movie.
are really long too.
Right,
so-
yeah, but pacing though, we were, because we were talking about how the Guardians, you guys felt
Yeah.
that the pacing was off on it. I think that Dune is a great example of how to pace a movie correctly.
Oh yeah, Dune seemed
Yeah.
like from a narrative standpoint is constantly moving forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Well,
not a
And
there's not
everything
lulls.
has purpose. There's none of this. Oh well, we're just gonna have them have a conversation for the laughs now.
Yeah.
It drives
Out of the-
nothing forward, but
Out of the 3-hour plus runtime in the second one, at least an hour will be a battle at the end. I mean, it's going to be like a massive hour-long battle.
The only thing is, I mean, I know it gets hate. There is some stuff in the Lynch Dune that I do actually really like, and crazy Alicia Witt as is. I don't know if they're going to be able to top her for the crazy. What was her name? The daughter Atreides. Alia, yeah, like that scene where she's got like the giddy face with the knife after she killed Baron Harkonnen. is like-
Right.
dude, get Helena Bonham Carter. She can do it.
Oh,
It's
hey,
A little
I
kid.
I know Brahma's been watching it. I don't know about you two, but I've been recommending this show for a while now called From.
And then
Oh, yes,
From?
from that's right. You were the first one who recommended that, especially
Yep.
in our private chat.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
But I think I have to subscribe to like MGM Plus to.
I think
see
it's on Prime Video as well. I'm not sure.
that. It's only
The
like
first season was,
episode.
and then it went MGM
Oh, okay.
Plus.
I have MGM Plus because
you
I think they
have
have some great shows over there.
Yeti
Really?
said that it's on Paramount Plus too, but I wonder
Oh,
if that's
maybe
only
in
in
Canada.
Canada.
Yeah, that's he can't keep pulling Canadian stuff. I mean,
Right.
It's just VPN.
Anyway,
Canadian.
well, that'll do us. That'll do it for us here at Ascendant Art.
I didn't
Unbuckle
give you-
those seatbelts.
oh damn! Now we're into the Canes coming out to pull us off stage. Side note: I did just look up From. It is included with Prime.
Well, the first season.
The
The
first,
first season is.
Yeah.
The
But the
second
second
one
season is-
wasn't.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
well,
they
And
only
we're
put
in the
the-
second season.
I
think
got to
they only
decide
put-
I like the first season before I even try the second season.
You gotta.
Let's
You
start talking
probably
about
already.
Mayor of Kingstown, and then I'll start with the
Slender.
second season and go back.
Slender, you probably already have MGM Plus or whatever it is, because he didn't think he had Paramount Plus.
Oh,
was
I
like,
have Paramount Plus. I've looked. I've checked.
I looked at him and I was like, Slender, you've been reviewing Mayor of Kingstown for like weeks. He's like, yeah, I watch it on Amazon. I was like, yeah, but it's through Paramount Plus. And he's like, oh, I guess I do have it because
shit.
I was like, you should watch Picard so we can review it. And he's like, I don't have Paramount Plus.
Oh, that's funny.
That's like,
See, here's the thing. I mostly don't watch stuff on Amazon.
Yeah.
Because I got mad at them after they canceled Alpha House, which was like one of my favorite shows. And so I haven't watched anything on Amazon since. And then, I don't know, the wife probably was watching something on it, so she had Paramount Plus.
I like how he paused to see if any of us recognize. When they got rid of Alpha House, which was one of my favorite shows, pause. Nobody's going to acknowledge that show. Nobody knows what it is. Okay,
Nope,
I'm going
not
to
a
keep
fucking
going.
clue.
Me either.
You should go back and watch it. It's John Goodman as a Republican politician. It's
It got
hilarious.
Oh,
canceled. Why
I
would I wanna
love
watch
that
it now?
show. I have seen that.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
It's
isn't it?
fucking great. Yeah, they live in a house for Congress people or whatever.
Yeah, like they've got like a place they crash when they're in
Yeah.
DC.
you know, I'm gonna
Yeah,
be honest,
it's a
Matt. For like
great show.
The first time, where first couple sentences of you saying, "Yeah, it's great," I was like, "He's lying." He's
No,
just
I'm
putting
being
it
for
out.
real.
And
I
then you
really
give
liked it.
details. It's
I
like,
even liked what's her name? I'm black and I'm loud. I'm a lesbian. What's her name?
Wanda Sykes.
Yep.
Wanda Sykes.
Wow, that
I'm-
good job, guys.
Well,
It was a really
She's
good
the
show,
neighbor.
and like
I'm not gonna
they
say
were
that that's the
setting
first
up
name.
for something cool, and then like they just canceled it. I guess because people were liking Republicans too much as a result.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the show was great.
Yeah, it was getting good ratings too.
Yeah.
And
Isn't
John
that one of the
Goodman,
things,
like he's amazing.
I've heard that's one of the things with Ted Lasso. Like they started seeing that it was gaining a following within the conservative
for
community.
somebody
Oh,
having a
yeah.
good attitude
So
about stuff.
Yeah, so that's why this this new season they pulled like a hard swerve to try to
Get rid of
reassert
us?
their bona fides to like, hey, look, we're legit left wing Hollywood people.
Well, it's worked. I
Well,
haven't
they-
watched anything since the first episode of the season.
They did
So-
have the whole cast and crew at the White House, like
Yeah.
maybe 3 weeks ago. That was when
Does Joe
KGP
Biden
went
remember
off
that?
on everybody for being rude to the guest by asking her questions that she should know the answer to, and she got all upset that how could you
Oh,
do
when
this
she
while
was
there's
like-
guests here?
Was that when she was talking about how they were being so dramatic?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And they've got the whole crew of Ted Lasso behind her on stage.
Yeah, she's something else.
Yeah, there's paid professional liars, and then there's her. I mean, she sold her soul for something. I mean, it's
Hey,
insane.
Slender, if you like Alpha House, it's a little bit different. But The Brink, it was a HBO show in 2015, only one season, and it's actually the best I've ever seen Jack Black. But it has Jack Black, Tim Robbins, Pablo Schreiber, and it's really good political
Oh, dude, the best
comedy.
I saw Jack Black was in The Jackal when his arm gets blown off.
Well, this won't
like
top
good
that.
acting right
But
there.
he is tolerable in this show. But
I
yeah,
mean,
check it out.
beats,
The Brink.
It beats Jack Black from the Neverending Story Part 2 or Part 3, whichever one he was in.
He was in one of those.
Nah, I couldn't
He
tell
was-
you.
He was in one of the sequels. I mean, it's not as good as Airborne, where Jack Black was in that one.
Yeah, he's in or Demolition Man. He was in that too.
Yeah.
He was Thug number 3.
Yeah, Demolition Man. Everybody should watch it. It
Mm-hmm.
it aged like a fine wine.
Well, you know what we should do? We should go watch Terminator Ninja Terminator.
All right,
Alright.
kittens, go ahead and unbuckle those belts.
I'm gonna give in because by the 5th time Mad tries to end our show for us, I think
Beam
it's the time-
down.
it's the time that we should do it.
He's gonna
so-
be like, "Oh, could you go ahead and make me an admin and just shut down this meeting himself?"
Man,
Matt's like, enough of your.
you can.
Let's go do something for mine.
Matt is like, I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna do some things. Okay, here's the thing. End live. End podcast. Well, thanks for coming out, everybody. We'll see all the people who are in chat, which is like Tina and maybe whoever was watching on Rumble next week. Anything you want to say on the way out, Slender?
Yeah, Nebula is better than Gamora.
I mean, in real life, Karen Gillian is definitely better than.
I mean, in reality, in fiction, after watching that movie, I honestly liked Nebula more than I liked Gamora. I was like, you know what? Fuck Gamora. Let her go. Let her go. She's
So
fucking
they made
awful.
Nebula completely boxy and squared off. Every
Yeah.
outfit she was wearing.
They did.
she-
I didn't like that part, but I liked her personality.
Yeah.
As far as I
You're
liked
one
her
of those
chemistry.
that likes women for their personalities, huh?
Gross.
Well, I mean, that's the only thing I can like. If I like them for their looks, they're gonna be out of reach. Come on,
Matt is over here like, wait, they made Nebula into a bro. I'm
No, but
okay.
I
I guess
liked
she
her
does
for
win.
her. I liked her for her chemistry with Quill. Like I thought they had good chemistry in this one. So
She Karen, whatever her name is, she's in a
No.
great movie by the dude that did The Art of Self-Defense. That's really
that's
fun.
right, where she plays her own clone and they
Yeah.
have to fight to the death.
Yep,
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
it's a good movie.
yeah, that one looked interesting.
Yeah, it's by
And
the same
thank-
dude that did Art of Self-Defense, so it has that same style.
And thank you forever to Mad for introducing me to Art of Self-Defense.
That movie was so good.
I got a belt. It's
We didn't do that. That wasn't a movies with Matt,
Nuh-uh.
though, was it?
No, that was
just
Matt's trying to. Matt's tired of telling people to watch this fucking movie, so he's gonna force everyone into this room.
We need to pull that out of the vault and maybe make a movies with Matt out of it or something.
I didn't even record it.
We did.
I know, but we should. It's so good.
Nah, it's too good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to talk bad about it. I want to just talk about how great it is.
All right. So everybody who's watching, as we're about to end the show, you go watch Art of Self-Defense, and we're gonna go watch a movie that is not gonna be anywhere near as good as that.
What? How dare you? Ninja Terminator? It has all the promise.
If you let's all right, we can make a bet right now if you want to.
No, I'm good. We can keep going. We gotta end it, man.
All right.
We know
Later,
time.
everybody. We're going. Bye.
Night.
Okay, bye.